We are compelled to identify the Colts as one of the elite teams in the National Football League. They have only one loss. Kudos to the Cardinals, because I was wondering, after all the stuff that happened last week with Amari DeMarcado,
how'd they
with
react,
Jonathan
right?
Gannon, the $100,000 fine, how are the players going to play for him? Is one loss going to become two? And even though they lost, it didn't feel like that. They were in it. They fought. They didn't have Kyler Murray. Jacoby Brissett comes in. He plays well. They had the chance to win it, but the Colts get it done at the end of the day. To me, that's the hallmark of an elite team, because even on a day when they step in a trap, they find a way to shake their leg out of it.
Yeah, I hear you there. I think there is something to say that, right? I mean, I think the Colts got a little bit, and we all know it happens, a little the human emotions of, hey, we're 4-1, we're playing good football. It's the Cardinals coming to town. You know, we should be able to beat them. The Cardinals, I think, to your point, I didn't know which way it was going to go either, but they played like a desperate football team yesterday, motivated, certainly. I mean, so that was all impressive. But the Colts continue to have all the right answers and just make big plays and big moments, too. That's another thing. I mean, Danny Dimes continues to be pretty efficient. He made one mistake, backed up yesterday, threw an interception, got lucky in that Jacoby Brissett threw an interception as they were going into score, so it kind of canceled itself out. But the Colts just have a lot of ways to beat you. The offensive side of the ball, I don't worry about the Colts at all. It's the defensive side that I think you can look at and go, hey, it's been certainly better, and we know that. But how good is it? I don't know. Are they super talented over there? I'm not sure about that. They got good talent, right? They got a coach that I like in Lou Anarumo. But I think we saw yesterday, there's some things that we're going to continue to evaluate about them. Because the way Arizona moved the ball up and down the field against the Colts and the defense there, that was concerning. It was concerning, one, for the Colts, that, yes, a backup quarterback is dicing you up like that without Marvin Harrison being in the lineup because he got hurt early on. The other concerning thing to me is not Colts related, is that why did the passing offense look so much better with Jacoby Brissett than it does with Kyler Murray? Why is there so many good throws within the pocket that were there to be had, and we haven't seen Kyler Murray really look like that the whole year, right? Yesterday's performance by Jacoby Brissett should start a conversation a little bit on why is he capable of moving the ball and throwing the ball in the tight windows in the pocket, and we don't see that from Kyler Murray. That was another thing that certainly jumped out to me about the game.
I've already thought this is kind of up or out year for Kyler Murray.
It feels like
Arizona.
it a little, and it's not going great right now for him.
One of the points that Pete made last week, Pete Demolitis, that Marvin Harrison Jr. really seemed to be praising Jacoby Brissett.
He definitely did, right? To a point to where when a receiver says it like that, you feel like, oh, he likes the way this quarterback throws. They have a little connection, right?
Hey, and my theory's been,
right.
And I have nothing to back this up other than circumstantial evidence and common sense. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been hearing for his whole life about Peyton Manning and the way Peyton Manning prepares, the way Peyton Manning obsesses, the way Peyton Manning holds everyone to a high standard. And Kyler's not that guy. Kyler's just not that guy. Kyler is an elite athlete. Kyler's not a dynamic leader. Kyler is very reticent. Kyler is shy, which is fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
I'm still shy. I can pop out of it in settings like this.
You just got to be a baller on the field when you do that.
Right. You've got to be. You've got to be over the top. You got to have the
strong presence that way.
Right.
Right.
And there are limits to Kyler, and he's not Peyton Manning. I mean, that's the thing. He comes into the league, and these guys come into the league as the first overall pick. It's an unlimited ceiling. We don't know where it is. By year 6, you kind of are who you are. We say it about Tua. You are who you are. Kirk Cousins, you are who you are.
Yeah.
You settle in at who you are. And I just would say that Marvin Harrison, after having all those years of Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison Jr. having been around the Colts when he was a kid, like he can compare and contrast. So I think that this thing is moving toward Kyler Murray being somewhere else next year, as soon as next year.
I wouldn't be shocked.
And he may want it at this point. And I don't know where he goes. I was looking through that because I was thinking about this yesterday, and I'm looking at, well, what team is going to want him? Who's going to need him? I mean, will the Steelers want him? Hey, there was talk of when things were a little dicey between the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, there was talk of the Eagles. I know, God forbid, Jalen Hurts, but there was talk about that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
there was talk about Kyler Murray to the Eagles.
There'll be open seats. We see that every year, and we'll see where.
No, I'm not saying there will be now. I'm just saying there was a time.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see where it goes.
Before Jalen Hurts established himself as a Super Bowl quarterback, there was a time when there was talk of Kyler Murray to the Eagles.
Right. I hear you. There was a few quarterbacks that were talked about going to the Eagles. Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, Deshaun Watson. I mean, all that was talked about at that time, if people remember right there. But, I hear you. And I think the jury's out on Kyler Murray and what happens there. He does have talent. There's no doubt about that. Is there as many superstar, oh my gosh, plays as we used to see? No. And then I think what we're talking about, at least what I'm talking about, is some of the, not ordinary, but the plays you're supposed to make in the pocket consistently as a quarterback aren't being made by Kyler Murray. And you saw Jacoby Brissett make those yesterday. Colts, though, are damn good. I think the Colts we're going to see them in a lot of games, I think, like we just saw yesterday. They're going to win games with their offense, and then their defense is just going to be kind of bend, don't break, right? Their defense is good. Like I said, it's not great. You can move the ball on them. The one thing they've done really well, they didn't do it quite yesterday, is they usually force you to kick field goals, right? That's where their scoring defense is good. But the onus or the pressure is going to be on their offense. That's where a lot of their assets are. Their head coach is an offensive play caller. They got a lot of talent on that side of the ball, and I think more times than not, they're going to have to kind of outscore teams to win football games.
One last thing on Peyton Manning, and I think in hindsight, it makes the accomplishments, not Peyton Manning, Kyler Murray, it makes the accomplishments of Drew Brees even more impressive, the early years of Russell Wilson even more impressive. When you are not a tall quarterback, that is a disadvantage. We're seeing it with Dylan Gabriel. We see it with Kyler Murray.
We've seen it with Russell Wilson.
It is a disadvantage.
Right.
It is a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And for the career that Drew Brees had, it makes it even more impressive that he was able to function at that level when he's basically looking through the redwood trees every time he's trying to figure out where to throw the football.
Drew is a big 6'1". That's what I always say, because he's got broad shoulders and long arms, so he could play a little bigger than his size. He had an offensive play caller and a coach who knew he wasn't the biggest guy and formulated things around him to make it work that way. And then the one thing they always had there in New Orleans is the biggest freaking O-line you'd ever seen, to where Drew could feel good. Hey, I'm smaller, but I got a wall in front of me, and that's pretty good there. So, but yeah, it is. Drew Brees, of course, that's why he's an all-time great first ballot Hall of Famer there.
6'1" is giving him an inch.
Is it?
I think it's giving him an inch.
Yeah?
I think it's 6 foot. I know anybody smaller than you, it's hard for you to tell because you're a giant.
6'1".
He's about 6 foot.
All right. What did it officially say?
It says officially 6 foot.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.